Exciting.
Hello, everyone. I am Bobbi Rowntree, born medium, and I am live once again. Yes, I do not have my Erin with me, but I have Sue with me, and Sue's
Hello.
helper, who is right here in Love Elemental. She is going to transcribe for Sue because Sue is a channeler, which a lot of people say I channel, but what I do is I don't channel. I allow people to speak to me and thus speak through me, but not like Sue does. I have never actually seen I have seen what Sue does, but I've never seen what Sue does before I met Sue. If that makes any sort of sense. Hello, Erin. Erin is here. Yahoo! Woohoo! It's a woohoo, isn't it, sugar? Okie dokie. So, Sue, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would. Thank you, Bobbi. My name is Sue Delaney, and I am a trans channel of the United Souls of Heaven and Earth. I am also the co-founder of Love Elemental, and we created that business in union with the United Souls of Heaven and Earth to bring their message into a broader audience. The United Souls of Heaven and Earth are an amazing collective. They've told us that there are over 2,500 individuated essences that have come together as one voice, but often that voice changes, of course. And their mandate is love. They are about expansion. They are about love. And they are here at this time because I have called them forth, of course, but collectively we've called them forth because it's this time of awakening. They are valuable friends to have on the journey with us to help us to become aware of who we are and our purposes, our divine purposes, so that we can step into these new vibrations.
Ah, yes. And honestly, listening to you when you did channel them, I feel that. I was in awe of it. I could feel the energy of them. It was so incredibly cool. So there, Carrie says hello, hello, Carrie. Hello,
Hello,
Emily.
hello, hello.
Yes, Karen, we can see your name. Yes. Can you see the chat too? Or do I have to tell you
Again,
the
I
chat?
can see the
Okay.
chat. Yes, thank you. I can see
Brand
this.
new platform. So it's all, we don't know. Actually, Erin was with us because she had to walk us through because Erin is under 50.
Thanks, Erin.
Oh, Kelly. Ah, interesting. I think Kelly Dearlove might be one of your folk.
She is. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Cool. See, we're bridging gaps
I love
right
it.
now.
Love
Yes,
it.
and you can find Love Elemental on Facebook. There's a link right here in Sue's corner. I'm pointing out, like you guys can see where I'm pointing. And you can directly link to her and follow her on Facebook. And is there a link to your YouTube through that?
I believe that there is. My assistant might have to let me know since I have the almighty technical assistant on board here. I'm sure that we are all linked.
Yes, and you can go to www.loveelemental.com. That is our website, and you can get all our social media from there as well.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Perfect. Yes.
Absolutely perfect. Okie dokie. So Kelly is here. Kelly says haha and hi. And Laura Lee says hello, hello. And Amanda, I don't know if we said hello to you, so I'm saying hello to you again if I did
Hello.
already. Ah, Alicia. Alicia is here as well. Alicia,
Hello, Alicia.
yours as well. So
Yes.
you are, I'm sorry, Kelly, I just assumed your gender because of your name. You might be a boy, Kelly, because there's boy Bobbies. So I hope not offense. You have seen what Sue can do, so it won't be a surprise to you. But all of my folks, this is going to be a surprise. Hello, Linda. How are you? Linda is Believe 101. Okie dokie. Now, what do you, hello, Laura Lee. Do you, okie dokie. When did you figure out you could do this?
Well, it was a journey many years ago, probably the early 2004, 2005. Life caused us to take a big journey, quite a literal journey. And it was sort of our vision quest in a way. But during that time, I met a woman who became a mentor to me. And during that, she was also a channeler. And the guides kept coming through over and over and over and saying, like, you're a channel. When are you going to do it? get going. And there was a lot of resistance, a lot of fear, a lot of confusion. And but I started to plug away, and the guides had me do something called automatic writing, which
Yeah.
is, you go into sort of that receiving quiet space. And I wrote thousands and thousands of pages over probably the course of a couple of years. And every time I went back and read it, I had no recollection of what I had written, and it
Mhm.
was profound. And it was 90% of it was in relationship to me and my journey, a little bit about some other situations I would sometimes mentally ask and then kind of go into this altered state. And then eventually the guide said to me, you're going to speak us out one of these days. So I just kept going on the path, on the journey,
Mhm.
learning everything I could. And one day they said, okay, put the pen down, and it start to talk. So I would record the messages, because of course I wouldn't remember them.
Yeah.
So it's been about 20 years now. The journey has taken for me to get to the space where I can now quite easily, almost on a breath, drop into that space where I can allow the United Souls to come through,
Mhm.
and and I just sort of step aside and allow them to utilize my vessel.
It's
So
enviable. Honestly, just because you are in the unique space as a psychic that you don't have to worry that you're getting the information incorrect. You
that's
don't
so
have
true.
to think about how am I going to explain that to them when you just showed to me. And to me, being a person who was born like this, and I had to make sense of it to prove to myself I wasn't insane. It's always been so groundworky. I can't imagine the trust that you must have, and because it's never been called to me in that kind of way. So it must have been so odd. So they, what? You guys just want me to leave my own brain and you're going to take over?
It's interesting because I'm certain I've called it forth this way. I worked for a lot of years in mental health. So I
Yeah.
spent a lot of time with folks who were in very, different stages of challenges in their life. And it was a beautiful, wonderful job, but it was very demanding, very taxing on me emotionally. I'm an empath. So I
Yeah.
found it had a cumulative effect on me, that my health started to take a toll. It started to take a toll on my health, right? So I had to learn, energetic boundaries. And there was a lot of lessons that I had to learn sort of in the meantime. But
Yeah.
I think when I was working with my guides, when I was learning who they were, when I was sort of, trying to figure it all out, I think I might have made a declaration that I would rather just be set aside so that I didn't have to sort of have all of those emotional impacts on me. Just set me aside. And of course, my the visionary for me is Esther Hicks, right? Who channels Abraham, if nobody knows of Esther Hicks. So she's just, I mean, I've probably listened to thousands of hours over the years of Esther Hicks. And you know, the universe listens to us when we ask for what we ask for. So I mean, I asked for it, and then I just worked really hard to line up with that.
Yes,
So
I would actually go so far as to say that before you even came here, this is what you had planned to do.
I'm certain. Yeah, I'm certain. The guides have said it's taken like centuries of lifetimes to get to this particular place
Okay.
of just being able to be a complete receiver of
Yeah.
of them
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I only know one other person who does it. And I think I actually even told you that when we first met. And he says the same sort of, he puts his feet in water. I don't think I
I-
said that before. And I just
That's
actually said it again.
fascinating.
Yeah, he'll put his feet in water. I have been told to tell people to put their feet in water for grounding. Yeah, salt water because it's a conductor.
Brilliant. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
United Souls call the water the amplification station. So that makes perfect sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
okey dokey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of it like hydro.
Right.
We get our electricity from water. Well, we do in BC. Do you in Ontario?
I don't know as much. I don't think it's as much here. No, I think there's, yeah, maybe in other parts of it, but yeah.
Yeah, when I moved from the prairies, I remember my parents discussing how weird it was that electricity was called hydro.
Yes.
Yeah, it's because it's not. And yeah, and there aren't the big power things. Anyway,
Right.
okay. I'm gonna say hello to a couple more people because a couple more people have come in while we were chatting.
Perfect.
Hello, Michelle. We said hello to Kelly. Hello, Nadine. Hello, Linda. We said hello. Hello, Pat. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Pamela. Okie dokie. Hello, Allison. Now, all of you who are new, that's not Erin. No, that's Sue. Sue,
Hi, everyone.
Sue allows, would you say ascended beings or higher souls?
They describe themselves as ascended master beings.
Okay.
They haven't necessarily experienced physical incarnations in human form. So
Okay.
we know that they are a collective. We know that, like I mentioned, there's over 2,500 of them. We have asked for them to, speak of who's in this collective, and we have had some individual essences come through, and when they've come through, my voice apparently changes, right? So so not only the voice but the vibration also of the message changes. So we've had some ascended masters come through, absolutely, as part of that collective.
Oh, that's very cool. Have you ever
Yes.
had dead people come through, or are they just too low? And I mean that as a person who talks to dead people. And
And then, like, yes.
yeah, too close to human. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
I was just speaking with the guides before we came on, and I was asking them, because of course, Bobbi, we're talking about some collaboration, and I was talking to them about how it sort of fits together, and they explained to me that as you move through the veil, they said, the element of mediumship is the sort of the first octave that you would move through, and then there's all kinds of various octaves, right? So where was I going with that? I can sort of feel a foot in both worlds. What did you ask me?
I asked if dead people ever make their way in.
To me, no.
Yeah.
Other than it has happened a couple of times. One time many years ago, my mom passed in 2017. And so at that time, I was doing a lot more automatic writing than trancing. And I was having a sleepless night. So I did what I do, called in the guides, got my pad of paper, wrote, was sleepy by the end of it, put it aside. The next evening, I went back and read it, and my mom had come through. So that was kind of cool to just her verbiage and sort of the flavor of how she spoke. I knew it was her definitively. She identified herself. And I think there have been a couple of other events that we've hosted where we've had people who have transitioned come through. But it's not it's sort of the exception, I think, more than the rule. Like, that's sort of not, I don't necessarily do medium work like you do.
Yeah, I would also actually think that they would have to be somewhat of an ascended soul. Like, went over there with like a Louise Hay Wayne Dyer sort of mentality within them, so that they could almost reach you. Or because I don't see it so much as a hierarchy, but I see it as a hierarchy. It's kind of like school. The grade 12s aren't better than the kindergartners; they're just older.
That's right.
So that's why they know a little bit more, and but the kindergartners are probably easier to get concepts into. But yeah, that's the way that I see it. And when you talk, they kind of show it like, no.
It's like layers on the tree, right? It's like the rings on the tree. It's sort of, it expands out, right?
Oh, I like that. Rings on a tree, because that doesn't make it like this.
Yeah.
It makes it like this. So it's all parallel and everybody is equal.
Yes.
Oh, I like that much, much better. Oh,
Yes.
That's cool. Yeah. Because the hierarchy thing for me is just what my mind can actually conceive of is only what my mind has seen. Yes. So that's where I get into the enviable with you, because I look at it and my dad's on the other side. And I chat with him all the time, but so many times I've said, "Are you actually here? Or do I just wish you were here?"
Right. Of course.
Remind me of who the heck I am when he said, like, he'll go, "Oh, who are you?" But that seed of doubt that could come in, and that even when I do a reading, sometimes I'm like, I can't be in this. It's not mine. It's not. You don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from the people who speak through me. Right. The people who speak through you push you out of the room.
Yeah, they get me right out of the way. They put me into a beautiful state that I would describe to be much like, my son does hypnosis, and he's put me under into a hypnotic state so many times that is akin to the trance sensation, if you will.
Yes,
Excuse
that's
me. Yes.
why I want to do that, so that I can figure out who I am. Because I get in the
Right.
way of figuring out the truth, because I try to orchestrate it, or I try to that's where I get into the enviable, which I need to stop envying, because that actually hurts you with that energy. It hurts me with that energy. I am going to be so happy for you.
Thank you. And we'll put it into that expansive
Yeah.
vibration. We'll put it into those
Well,
higher
actually, yeah, I
octaves.
can be happy that, well, Heidi connected us, but they connected us through Heidi, but because actually Nadine has asked where the beautiful Heidi is. The beautiful Heidi is here. She's the hiding Heidi. Heidi, Heidi, ho, ho. I hope you're laughing with us, Heidi. Using your name.
I am laughing.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Sometimes I forget that words can be offensive. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to say hello to a few more people. I think we have said hello. J. Aaron Clark. I think that's a cool name. Aaron is.
Hello. What a great name.
It is. Carrie has, yes, water makes sense. Better connection in a way. Exactly, Carrie. Mary Louise Kewen. Hello, Sue. And nice to meet me, Bobbi. Nice to meet you, Bobbi.
Hello.
Hello, Marie. You came with Sue. That's awesome. Amanda, I don't know if I said hello. I missed you. I'm sorry, Amanda. Hello, Amanda. I missed Amanda on the first hello. TL, hello.
Hi,
I'm going
Amanda.
to assume that TL is yours. Is that right? Maybe TL's on my YouTube channel, but hello, TL.
I'm not. Hi, TL.
Okie dokie. Okay, now, we actually have our first psychic question. Now, I asked you this before. I'm going to say hello to, is it Aline? That's a neat name. Yeah.
Aileen?
A-L-I-N-E. Aline. Yeah. Erin and I do this. We try to pronounce people's names, and very often people will put them in phonetically for us. So that
that's a great idea. Even if it's Aileen, it's beautiful, and it could be Aline, which, what a great name if your name is Aline.
It's Aline mispronounced. It was really close to alien when you said it, and I heard it. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. And Nadine says hi. Oh, she says hello to you, Heidi. I think that's the hi, beautiful. Anyway, okie dokie. So, question here. If we begin to ask questions, do you come in and out? Or do you?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, so it's one of the things I just want to, you said it correct, she says. Good job. One of the things, this is actually, I'll just take a minute to explain a conversation that's really powerful we just recently had with the United Souls, just about questions and how they answer questions. Because one of the things that's come up over and over is that they don't answer questions quickly. They sort of take you on a journey. And so I said, why do you do that? Why is that? Not everybody loves that. And they said, well, because it's all about energetic engagement. They said, when you have two human beings or more, of course, and you are having a conversation, that's a different level of engagement than if you ask a person a question and they say yes or no. There's very little engagement with that. So they said, we need to engage with our human friends because they are not giving us the answers. They are bringing us into vibrational alignment with the answers. So that's very different, isn't it? So I just wanted to say that because, I never know. Somebody might ask a question and it might go on for a few minutes, and the answer often can come in the way of metaphors. I think you mentioned, Bobbi, that when you talk to the other side, they speak in metaphors. Well, the United Souls do as well, which is why, it's always nice to have, I get help with the translation a lot of the times because of the metaphoric language. So we can, however we want to structure this, I'm happy I can come in and out. The guides will pop me in and out as we need to. So you lead the way and I'll just tag along. I'll be along for the ride.
I actually want to tag on to what you said a little bit, because There is no yes or no questions. That's what I was being told while you were saying that. So that's why they have to go on the journey, because usually when someone's asking a question, they're not actually seeing where they are creating the thing that they're asking the question about. And that's what your people are telling them. Now, and also, okay, now we have Heidi here. So Heidi is, oh, Troy is TL. Hello, Troy. I know Troy.
Oh, hi, Troy. Hello.
Okie dokie. Because, okay, so we have Heidi here, and Heidi can actually look at the questions and give us each question, which is absolutely smashing, in my opinion. Because if you are a regular on here, you know that Aaron and I are like, which is the next? That's what we're always. So we're always going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So this way we won't be back and forth. Heidi, is that okie dokie?
That's really good. I'm on board.
Okay, I have one more thing I want to say before we begin. It is in bulk. In bulk blessing. Oh, this is a little snake. This is my snake. In bulk blessings to everyone there. This is the time of rebirth. This is the time of the new. It is symbolized by so many things that are very, very fertile, like milk and such. Ooh, okie dokie. I was just told I need to take a milk bath tonight, which is something that I have done before. I used to, because I used to own an ice company, and we had a milk guy that actually would use our space, and the milk would expire. So he'd just give me the milk and I'd go bathe in the expired milk. Not while it was stinky. It wouldn't be stinky expired.
No, not curdled milk.
Curdled, like, oh my God, Bobbi, you're like yucky soup. But yeah. Okie dokie. All right. So if you have questions, it is so true. Heidi is a blessing, Aaron has said. Thank you, Aaron. And Lauren just spilled milk all over herself. So Aaron's having a milk shower because she doesn't have down there. So. I can hear you laughing with me, Aaron. We do a lot of giggling. We do. Okay. Emily says, howdy, Heidi. Okie dokie. So there are lots of questions popping up. So
yes, there is.
Mary Louise Q, Sue, this is Lou. I don't know if you noticed that. I just letting you know Lou is here.
Lou. Hello, Lou. Hello, Lou.
Okay, now okay, I'm going to stand back and let you get ready and what you need to do. And I'd like to make space for you.
And I'm just going to take a moment and do what I'm just going to open my portals. And then you're going to have questions, shoot me questions, or are we going to have us speak?
Okay. Which would you like to do first? You know what? They're just going to do what they're going to do. And they will let Heidi know when they need a question.
Okay. I'll just be a moment opening my portals. Would you like me to open my portals privately or out loud?
Love it if you would open them out loud, if that's
okay. I could feel that. I could feel that.
I'm excited for everyone to see what I have seen. So,
okay. So I'll just give a moment of explanation. This is, excuse me, this is something that we were given by the guides even before my time. This goes back a very long time. The guides gave explicit instructions about how we were to connect with them. It's much like if you're picking up a telephone and you're calling, if I'm going to call Bobbi, I'm going to dial Bobbi's number. I'm not just going to pick up the phone and expect that Bobbi's, although she probably would, she's a great psychic, but you know what I mean? So you want to be aware of who you're dialing up. So this is just a way for us to be sure that we're dialing up that which we intend, which of course for me was always my intention was to connect with high white light guides. So with that being said, I will take a drink of water. And let's open our portals
to speak here.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I would like everybody, if they would like to just close their eyes, to place their hands on their heart and feel into them, because you most probably will be able to feel them come in to not only this call, but into your space.
Excuse me. Dearly beloved, I am presence. Please project and establish a protective pillar of white light, Leoesh, in, through, and around me, and please keep me from anything that is not of the light. I ask that portals be open for the express purpose of establishing the highest rapport between myself and my highest white light guides, including Merlin, Mimi, Michael, Seth, Abraham, Pia, Cryon, Saint Germain, Angela, Orin, Dobbin, Yogananda, Vilamus, the Lost Boys and Girls, the Kings and Monarchs, Albert and the Council, the Student Body, and us, the Great White Brotherhood, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Raguel, Archangel Razuel, Ramtha, Rhonda, Dactonal, the benevolent light beings from Romulus, the Syrian Blue-White Council, the Lemurians, the Arcturians, beloved Goddess Athena, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, beloved Lady Kuan Yin, Orinoco, Wanda, Volans, Gadzooks, the League of Giant Medicine Men, the Hierarchical Chambers, the Grandmothers, Jesus the Christ, Mary and Demetrius, the Psychological Compendium of Master Hilarion, Jeremiah the Goliath, the Hathors, and Lady Bridget. We ask that these portals be protected and that we establish the highest rapport between ourselves and our highest white light guides, including Merlin, Mimi, Michael, Seth, Abraham, Pia, Cryon, Saint Germain, Angela, Orin, Dobbin, Yogananda, Vilamus, the Lost Boys and Girls, the Kings and Monarchs, Albert and the Council, the Student Body, and us. The Great White Brotherhood, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Raguel, Ramtha, Rhonda, Dactonal, the benevolent light beings from Romulus, the Syrian Blue-White Council, the Lemurians, the Arcturians, beloved Goddess Athena, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, beloved Lady Kuan Yin, Orinoco, Wanda, Volans, Gadzooks, the League of Giant Medicine Men, the Hierarchical Chambers, the Grandmothers, Jesus the Christ, Mary and Demetrius, the Psychological Compendium of Master Hilarion, Jeremiah the Goliath, the Hathors, and Lady Bridget. I call upon the Elohim of the white ray to pour forth thy full crystalline from the source. I call upon the Elohim of the white ray to activate the crystal templates of my body. I call upon the Elohim of the white ray that I may be fulfilled. I call upon the Elohim of the white ray to fill me with the light and the love of God. Kodosh, 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 Adoni Titzbeoth, Adoni Titzbeoth, Adoni Titzbeoth. And on breath, we are here. We are here, we are here, we are here. Friends, all of you, good day to each and good day unto all. We are getting ourselves lined up in the within of this girl. It is a little bit like an orchestra, and we are the one who will tap the podium and bring everyone into unison and harmony. And so it is a good day to come together. We are eager to stride alongside of each of yous, for we see who you are, friends, and we are honored that you have taken a moment or two, even 3, to sit in our sweet soup. We are all cooks in this kitchen, and we want you to know that the ingredient that you place into this soup on this day of days, this sacred gathering, it will nourish all of you. What a divine kind of arrangement, friends, that you sit where you sit, each in your own divine space and time. And yet, you are all contributing in this time, space, time of now. You are all contributing the ingredients of you to create the most nourishing kind of recipe, kind of dish, so that you all can forevermore sip from it. You see, you come and you go, friends. You come into these gatherings, these grouplings, and then you return out into your own space places upon the map of life of yous. And we want to invite you to always, in all ways, take the vibrational harmony of one another that comes together as it does in this kind of arrangement and bring it with you. Do not shove it into a pocket, a back pocket even. Never for you to bring it out to see the light of day or to see the light in the other's eyes when you place it upon them. This is a dynamic exchange, friends. All of it. Be afraid not of any of it, but rather shine and rise and shine yourselves and yourselves. They're listening always. Did you know that? Speak favor over you always. and reach the hand out with the heart onto those who are perhaps unsure. Be not afraid of them if they are unsure. For the gift that grows inside of you, that which knows no limits, no bounds, that is waking up. Can you feel it? For each and all who are in this groupling, in this gathering, you are part of this story, book story of rising and of shining. And so we wanted to take a moment and to let you all know that you are glorious and that we are eager to speak to you about whatever matters are on your individual or collective matter meters. Indeed.
Thank you so much. So the first question we have is from Pamela, and she asks, how close is he to being ready to move forward in our relationship? Do you see a timeline? Thank you. And Bobbi, that's a question for you, but the us might come in and answer as well.
Yeah, I will defer to them at the moment.
We are wanting to know the name.
The name of the person, of he?
Of she, of they who are asking the question.
The name is Pamela.
Pamela. What a beautiful name. Pamela. And what is Pamela wanting to know exactly?
How close is he? There is no name to it, but he, to being ready to move forward in our relationship. Do you see a timeline?
How close is he to wanting to take a step forward to you? Towards you? Is that what you are wanting to know?
Yes.
Well, this is a reciprocity arrangement that has spent a little bit of time in a state of remission. It is a little bit, it has spent a little bit of time up on the blocks. And that is often the place where it needs to be when it is getting a refurbishing. And so we say to you, there are melancholy miles that you have placed upon your heart as a part of this reciprocity arrangement. And we say to you that the story of you, it begins with you always. And so we are going to invite you to be the one who moves into a greater state of allowing of you. And you will soon see that as you move into this space of greater allowing of you, without all of the hounds and bounds of restriction, you will see that he is put on a trajectory that is more in line and in tune with the one of you. But see, this is the thing, friends. When the tune of you that you are singing is out of sync, it is out of harmony with the you of yous, there always seems to be a timestamp that has a delay timestamp that you are not feeling is congruent. It all feels incongruent. But you are living the experience and the expression of previous incongruencies. So allow yourself to move into states of grace, friend. And you will allow the reciprocity agreement arrangement with this friend to grow. Do not put parameters on anyone, friends. For as you begin to box another in, that box begins to shrink on you. It always does. So we say to you, breathe and allow the expansion of you to call forth the expansion of he and move into harmony together. But you must be singing a note that is in harmony with you, friend. For if you are out of harmony with you, the song you are going to want to sing with he, it will not strike the right note. Indeed.
I agree.
I agree in a lot of different ways. And what I see, Pamela, is a red line, and I see the foot of him coming towards the red line, but the other foot will not cross the red line. I agree so much in that what you feel inside of you can actually create more of a barrier and push it farther away, because what we concentrate on, we attract more of. So if you concentrate on the frustration of it and the timeline of it, then you might create a longer timeline. So act as though you already have what you want, and you will get what you want. And I know you don't know what it's like to have what you want, but you do know what it will be like when you have what you want. I hope that helps, Pamela. All right. Awesome.
And another question from our dear friend Aileen. My question is about housing. Will we buy a house this year, and where will we live? We'll ask the United Souls.
Yeah.
They know Aileen.
Bless first. Yeah.
Mm. We are speaking to Eileen, and we are speaking to her about her housing arrangement.
Yes. My question is,
And what is she wanting to
will
know?
we buy a house this year, and where will we live? What location, I'm thinking.
Perhaps we might want to speak to Eileen for a moment, because, beautiful friend, there is no one who has got the pen in hand to write your story other than you. You might want us to take the pen and write it out for you. But how does that allow you to step into the magnificence of your creative potential? We say to you, friend, we want you to step into the storybook story of you. We want you to take that pen, and we want you to write it all out, all of it. Create, create, create. You are, old friend, you are an architect. Did you know that? And so we want you to not just move into the direction of the wind that blows out of another's mouth. We want you to move into the direction of the current of you. We want you to put your hands upon that great big steering wheel, and we want you to move the vessel of you into the waters that seem as though they are the most crystalline. You must be near waters that will nourish you. You are part of a kingdom that is what you might call the elemental kingdom. You are part of this arrangement. And so we say to you, crystalline waters are the best kind of waters for you to move alongside. But we want you to know that these timelines that you speak of, friends, they are part of old compartments, old storybook stories, old storylines, where you felt that there was a force of life that was greater than you, that had a great big grandfather clock that was wanting to spin it around and tell you when you would land on your mark. Friends, the clock is within each of yous. You are the ones who get to make the decision when you press the button of the clock and start or stop it, you see. What we want you to know, friend, you are wanting to know some specifics. We see that. But that is where you come in, because it is in the specificity of you and the one you are collaborating with. It is in the specificity of you that you become the co-creator that you came to be, you see. So we can tell you this. Crystalline waters will call you forth, moving into environs where you are shrouded and surrounded by life that will benefit you greatly. But we want you to follow the mechanism of your heartbeat. We want you to move into the direction of you. You have waited long enough, have you not? Indeed.
Okie dokie. Now, what I see then immediately when I read the question, I thought I heard no. And I don't think that's a negative. I know no is actually essentially the negative, but it is more that this, you might have to see where things go and what things are doing. And it would actually almost piggyback a little bit on what the United Souls say in this idea of, we have this set idea that I must own a home, and that home ownership's a big thing, and blah, 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 blah. And there's this economic thing that goes with it, and you want to get to own a home fast and furious. But I don't think that's actually something that is a 2025 thing at this moment. Maybe not for you, and where you land will be where you land. And that's something that your landing pad, it might not actually be available to you at this moment. And that does not mean that where you're going to land isn't available. You can't live there. It's more where you are going to land. You haven't built to where you're going to go. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of like, as we grow, where our trajectory lies changes because we change inside, and we have that kind of control. So I hope that makes sense.
That was phenomenal. Thank you. We've got a question from Emily. Emily's question is with regards to leaving my current employment, and what is the most aligned timeline for that?
Okie dokie. May I?
Yes, Susan.
Yes, please.
I'm
I'm
impressed.
I'm back. I'm present for a minute.
So yes.
I'm back for a minute.
Right place, right time. I actually even think that in some ways you have already left your employment, that you have maybe even checked out of it in some kind of way. And okay, leaving my current employment, and what is the most aligned timeline for that? I see your employment actually opening up to you. So it might not be that you leave where you are, that you actually change or expand. Okay, well, that doesn't make sense. I just saw the man behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, okay, there might be something you don't know. There might be somebody more in charge that you don't realize. Who you see is in charge might not be the person in charge, or what you're seeing might be an illusion, and there's something much smaller behind it. And I hope that makes sense, having to do with your employment. This is always such blind reading. It's difficult to not have the person go, yeah, that makes sense in some sort of way. But yeah, yeah, I see your employment being like this, and it expands out like that, and you are still within that same trajectory. So, and that you've already left in some way, shape, or form.
That's interesting, Bobbi, because I very much intuit a similar kind of thing. It's almost like it's the same. It's a highway, but it's the same highway, but different lanes of that highway is what.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense, because honestly, if you're on a highway, which lane will actually could take you off to that exit or to this one, or yeah, especially
exactly. Yeah. It feels very parallel in many ways, but then it does go off for sure.
Okie dokie. Mm-hmm. So you're back. So do you remember the last few minutes?
I'm back. Sorry, what was that?
Minutes?
I remember the last question. I think Emily asked a question about her work. So I was on, I'm there. I was present for that
you're
one.
Kind of out by then. That's neat. It's neat. It's so neat what you do. And boy, did I feel it. Holy snot. Dog. I don't know if you guys could hear my dog. I have a Labrador that I think they sent to me, that when things are at me, he tries to eat them, because he's woken me up before by jumping on me. He was crying. He was freaking out right here. He was, yeah. So if you guys heard my Labrador, I'm sorry. The Labrador, yeah, he was trying to protect me. He was right. He knew what was going on. He came downstairs when we started. Yeah, you felt it.
Wow.
So yeah.
The animals.
Oh yeah, they're like children that way. You don't have to tell them something's there. They just know it's there. Yeah.
Yeah,
they know.
Old.
So we just got two beautiful comments. One from Aileen about the house. She said, yes, that does make sense. Thank you so much. And Emily also says, yes, that does make sense. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
awesome.
you both.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
What has it?
Next one. Sorry, I'm going up and down now. Okay. We've got Amanda Dawn. She says, I feel I have a greater purpose here. The gift I have prior to my son's passing in '09 at birth has changed. What has it transitioned to?
Do you want to go
Sure.
ahead, Bobbi?
Okie dokie. That's kind of interesting. I actually think it's something that is akin to channeling a little bit, Amanda, but I see it in your hands. Yeah. Now, the gift you had, I'm not sure if it had to do with healing, but yeah, but you're seeing things as well. You're able to see what is outside of you because I'm seeing you see. I'm actually even seeing you locate somebody or something. It's actually a cat. It seems to be that you're locating, but I'm seeing it in your hands. So if it actually, because it's always metaphoric, it could actually be that they're showing that your gift is within your hands, or they're showing you your gift is in your hands. If you know what I mean, the gift is in your hands, right? I always talk to the question, which I should not. I look at it and I talk to the question and the person there. So I apologize, Amanda. My eyes were down that whole time looking at your name. Sorry. Go ahead.
I could definitely see how you do that, because then they sort of, that becomes the embodiment, right?
It's like, yeah.
I'm going to let the United Souls talk for this one, if that's
Yeah.
okay. They just, excuse me, they just said that there's a resurrection protocol at work here. So can we just, okay, I'm going to let them go in, and then maybe if we could just ask the question again, please. We are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. We are eager to speak about this matter. We wish for you to phrase it again for us.
Absolutely. So it is from Amanda Dawn. And she says, I feel I have a greater purpose here. The gift I had prior to my son's passing in '09 at birth has now changed. What has it transitioned to?
This is a potent and powerful query, because when one stands at the precipice of the greater and grander version of them, there are so many conduits of confusion that want to become activated. Great deals of confusion come forth trying to naysay and sway journeys and perspectives. And we see that you have seen all of it. And that is why you are the great seer indeed. You can see into spaces that others cannot. You can see faces of those who are not before you. And we see that you are part of the lineage of the great seers and oracles. It is important for you to know that you can turn what would be considered lead into gold. You do indeed come forth with what would be called the Midas touch, but we call it the alchemist's smile. It is important for you, old friend, to pour that smile upon you as you greet each day. Or that smile of you, it is potent, it is powerful, and it packs quite a punch of love. And so smile upon you and smile upon all of those who come before. You will cause a frequency adjustment to occur over and over again. And so see your way into the way of you, and you will see a new you come along. Indeed.
Do you have anything to say to that, Bobbi?
No, I agree.
Okay. So we've got another question from Pat. And her question is, whenever I focus on my goals or my future and what to accomplish, sorry, I got that wrong. Let me try again. When will I ever focus on my goals, future, and accomplish what I'm trying to do? and stop sabotaging myself.
Okie dokie.
Bobbi?
Okay. And my immediate thing I heard is actually when you figure out what it is you want to do. That's immediately what I heard. And you know who says hi, because you know every time that you show up, he shows up, and he is always, always welcome. I think that's why he knows he can show up. Yes, it's a soul that's attached to Pat that I have talked to so many times, and he will immediately come in. He even answers other people. But yeah, honestly too, he thinks there's something within here in your heart chakra that is stopping you. He is calling it the grief, but I kind of believe that it is more than your grief. It might have a little bit something to do with your feelings about yourself attached to your grief. And I mean that with all the love I can give. I'm going to say that you might want to forgive yourself. That you might want to forgive yourself for absolutely everything and be in a state of forgiveness for this next week. And you know where I am and I know where you are. So if you need me, you are more than welcome, but you need to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm. I can hear the United Souls saying to move into an expanded state of grace with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely the first step before the journey will begin to unfold. But yes, like Bobbi, like you mentioned, some of those things need to happen first. And they will.
Yeah,
You can do
it's just going to take time.
Yeah.
Because it really hasn't been as long as it feels. Which, yeah, when you're living without someone, it feels like forever. But sometimes you just, it takes a while. It takes a long time to let go of these things. 37 years my father's been on the other side. I still cannot watch things with people's fathers and not burst into tears. It's death is tough. Even when I know he's sitting right beside me, for goodness sakes. He was with me this morning. I was crying so hard. I'm like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love you, Pat.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question from Maxine. And it says, not sure if I'm looking for more, but always interested to have more. Is there someone special looking for me? If so, can I have a clue where to look?
Do you want to go first?
You go ahead, and I'm going to just call in the guides here again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I hear manifest. Yeah. If there is someone out there and you know it deep inside, start believing they're right there. With my husband, I went out on dates with him for 3 months before I ever met him. Because I would go on these imaginary dates in my head and I would think about what he would say to me, what I would say to him, the time we would have. Nothing like, where does he work, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even see his face. All I could feel was how we felt when we were together. And that is quite well reflected in the relationship that I have now. So to me, it wasn't that I created the relationship. It was that I already knew the relationship was going to happen and I pulled it towards me.
Mm-hmm. So, Bobbi, that's actually working in the quantum field. Well done.
Oh, well, thank you. See, I didn't even know.
There are so many ribbons of creation that are woven into all of it. Each of you has a canvas. And as you awaken each day, would you believe us if we told you that that canvas is blank? It's a brand new opportunity, friends, to put on that canvas whatever it is you wish to see. And we see that sometimes it seems as though it would be a little bit easier if they would just gallop along and find their way to you with the greatest amount of ease while you sit in the corner eating peanuts we say to you, put the peanuts aside and have a little bit of fun with life, and then you will find your way to the fun you are seeking. For it is a vibrational game, friends, and it always then begins within. So create the vibration that you wish to enjoy in the relationships that you wish to enjoy it in, and allow the unfolding. For that is as delicious, is it not, as sitting down to the meal, to create the meal, to create the dish, to create the fun, to create the vision, to create the friend, to create the mate, and allow them to find their way and you to find yours. That is a great arrangement. It is a journey that you can paint upon your canvas each and every day. Have fun with it. Be easy about it. And do not allow the seeds of doubt to get rooted in that beautiful garden of you. Indeed.
I love that statement. Allow the seeds of doubt to get rooted in the garden of you. That is, oh, goodness gracious. That is an awesome statement. Yes. Thank you. Goodness, that's awesome.
Okay, and we have another question from Janine. And it is, what is coming up next for me? Is there good things coming?
I get it. Absolutely. How can there not be? Because there are good things coming for everyone, because we are in a new day and we're going into a new day. It may look dark outside, but that's a perception. The sun is up.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, the goodness is coming like waves upon waves, and they're saying even like a tidal wave, but yeah, it's like I could feel it coming. I really can. I can feel a lot of it coming, actually. Yeah, it's quite wonderful.
It's very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah,
it is.
We're killing them with flowers. It's awesome. Just try to be mean. You can't be mean. It's over. Yeah. That's my utopia. Is And instead of you're mean, your words are, oh, I can't do those mean things. I'm trying. Yeah, no. Sorry. Wouldn't it
be wonderful?
Wouldn't it? Oh yeah, I have like a visual where because I had a visual where 3 different nations were actually poised at each other, because I actually think that is the thing that's going on, and they go to shoot, and different flowers come out of all their guns, and they're dumbfounded, and I think, oh my goodness, wouldn't that be the most amazing reality to suddenly hit? Oh goodness gracious, that'd be awesome. So I'm holding out hope. It's but I'm like,
I'll hold on to it with you, Bobbi.
It'll work, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But,
Okay, next question is from, I hope I'm saying this right, Yale. It's Yael. And the question is, what do you see for love and friendship for me?
Oh, what do you see in okay. I actually see you reaching out, not reaching. There's something in between you, and it's almost like a causticness. And it adds fear. There's fear. There's fear of being hurt. There's fear of repeating old patterns. There is fear of the same old. My advice to you would be to kind of start each day as a new day and let go of what has been, and try something new each day and start a new pattern for yourself. It's kind of like the Lululemon bag. Do something that scares you every day. That's what I'm seeing. So do something that scares you. Do something a little bit differently. If you usually drink coffee on the left side of your house, drink it on the right side. Simple pimple, but do differently, and then things will start. Your vibration will change differently. I told anyone something like that. Sue?
I can feel they want to talk. These conversations are powerful, friends, because everyone, as we discussed, is putting in their ingredients, are they not? And so we will all leave so much more nourished than we arrived. And we want you to know that each and every relationship that you are participating in, friends, is part of what we call the reciprocity agreement. And it is absolute in its essentialness that this remains balanced in order for expansion to occur. Relationships often move into states of contraction. And this is the result of the internal dialogue becoming a monologue and it not allowing the reciprocity to flow. And where it does not flow, friend, it does not grow. And so there have been some conversations that you have turned into monologues, friend, and you are continuing to speak them aloud upon yourself and yourselves. They're always listening. And so we say to you, be easy about all of it. Begin each day looking in thine eyes and allowing the reciprocity arrangement between you and you to be filled to the brim with love. If you move into states of appreciation, if you cannot find the state of love for you, move into the state of appreciation. And if you cannot move into the state of appreciation, then allow yourself to move into the state of appreciation of the ability to have appreciation. What we are saying is you might want to move your lens out a little bit, but we want you to look in those eyes and we want you to begin this arrangement of appreciation and love for and of and onto you. For friends, each of you and all of you, if you will begin there, it does not cost a thing. If you will begin there, then all of these arrangements, relationships, situations, they will all turn about and they will begin to grow in ways that you have not known. It is an inside job, friends, all of it. And it always begins with you. Indeed.
That's another great quote. It's an inside job. That's an excellent quote. I'm plugging in. There we go.
Plugged
in. I thought I had.
Hey,
Amazing how quickly your battery diminishes when you do this. Yeah, that was the way that they explain things is individual yet universal at the exact same time, which is kind of like the way it all is. We're individuals having individual experiences, but it is a universal experience that we're all having. It's kind of like if people who wants love, almost everybody's going to lift their hand. Yeah, I want love. What a great time. Okie dokie. Now, I have noticed that a couple of people, especially people on your YouTube channel, aren't being able to see the thing. So is it all right if we try this for a second and see if they can hide over?
Sure.
There? Oh, no, I did it. I was screwed it up. Okie dokie. So, and now those of you who have said they cannot see the messages, can you see them now if I do that? That's what I would like to know. So I thought I'd try to fix that, and I didn't want to interrupt you to fix that. Okie dokie. Sorry, Patty, go ahead.
Thank you.
okay, so the next question is from Blair, and Blair says, will I get the medical support to teach people that they're not supposed to love their illnesses and not say they're frightening something in their bodies? They're fighting something in their bodies.
Sorry, is the question, will I get medical support for that?
I know the context of this.
Okay, do you want to go?
The question? Yes, Blair, you will. Yeah, they will actually listen to you because you're the miracle man. And it's all right there. That's better, Kelly says. Awesome. Okie dokie. Thank you, Kelly.
Perfect. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, and I know there's no yeses, but, but
that's a yes.
It's in relation to what he is asking about because it's very specific in that way. But yes, yeah, the caveat to it is that something you want to do. Is that what you want to put it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point. Because it's the difference between putting a Facebook post about eternal love and everybody being kind to themselves and arguing with people about the present state of stuff. That's the difference, because you think you're spreading light, but you're actually kind of getting into that because you're arguing with
Right.
that. So it's making you more of that. It's putting you in that energy. So if you stay and talk more about why that may have happened and what you could do to not have that happen again. But I totally understand what you mean completely. It's the way we look at illness. So sorry, Sue, go ahead.
No, that's interesting. I know the United Souls have fairly recently been talking about life as a, like even a broomstick, right? And we have to always stay in the middle because every topic is two topics. There's there's the positive polarity and the negative polarity. That's the duality of the relation of the nature of the reality that we're in. So yeah, the conversation can be about anything, and you can look at it from either polarity. And so it serves us well to move into the positive poles of when we're approaching the conversation or whatever it is, because then we're, or even arguably staying in the neutral place is probably even better according to the guides, because then we're not going all over. So
yeah,
exactly.
I love that. Yeah, because even as you're talking, they're talking about the androgyny of things, staying in that place of observance, because otherwise we put our opinions on things, and it's part of the programming a little bit. But I I agree.
Okay, the next question is from Nancy, and Nancy says, I have stepped into my light, my authentic self, and in that process, I've lost people I love who have wanted to stay stuck in the systems that are no longer based in truth. It has been a big work, a healing journey that I'm very proud of, but that has come at a price. I'm wondering what comes next for me. I am currently working still, but trusting I'll know when it's time to retire and make more room for helping others on their own healing journey. Is that time coming soon? And I'd like to say, first of all, well done, Nancy. Well done for stepping into your light.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's such a brave thing to do. Yeah, and there's something about creativity. What do you see, Sue?
Mm-hmm. I definitely see some. It's funny you say that, because the very first thing I saw, and this makes no sense to me, was putting red bows on stuff. Like, and that could be metaphorical, but it was like putting ribbons, and it felt like an artistic. It felt creative.
A craft fair where tea cozies are being sold and things like that. That's
something like that, and it feels like I don't know why I want to say like 3 to 6, and it feels like months. It doesn't feel like years. Like I want to say this 3 to 6 period of time, months period of time, where there's like, I almost feel like there's, feels like the light, maybe we're going to get more earthly light codes, but somehow I feel like there's some kind of coding, or there's some kind of activations that, is it Nancy? Is that who we're talking to? Nancy?
Yes.
Yeah, is going to receive. There's like, I feel like it feels like activations, or I want to say like light codes or something like that. But there's definitely like a transformation, a transmutation, like this journey you're on. Stay on it. You're on the right path. The vibrational dissonance that did occur with the other folks, that's part of the journey, right? That's part of the awakening, and it's very difficult. And I want to say, continue to build community around yourself, continue to reach out to like-minded people, there's something about the building of a community with this creative piece to it that I feel like is coming up, but I don't feel like you're not quite ready. Like, not that you're not ready, but the vibration of you isn't quite at the expanded state where the alignment for these other opportunities aren't quite there. You're not quite at that vibrational match point yet, if that makes sense.
I can totally see that. And I hear forced retirement too, Nancy. When you ask about retirement, I actually think that either it will get so I can't stay here anymore, or there'll be another avenue that takes you out to do the other things. But I also see these folks, especially when Sue talks about them, the ones that you've had to leave behind, keep that door open, because it's more you were standing with a group and everyone was trying to figure out what to do. And you went, oh, we got to go over here. And everyone went, and you went over there. And they're all still standing watching you go over there and trying to figure out whether or not they're going to follow you. So please lead by example and just fly your freak flag proudly. Just be who you are, and then they'll be more comfortable to be who they are. Okie dokie. You end with an eat, I end with okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Okay, next question is from Penny. And Penny says, what is coming for work for me? I applied for a position in a small town and I'm really hoping to get it.
Yeah, I hear
Go
you,
ahead,
Will.
Bobbi.
And I always feel trepidatious about that because I don't like to blow smoke up people's panties. You will. You will. And even if it's not this particular job, it is one that mirrors it exactly. It is, you're on the right track with what you're doing and where you're going and what you want to do with yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Close your eyes and just go. That's what I hear. Don't do that. You might run into something, but you won't.
Yeah, I would say so too. It feels like a good lily pad leap.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Mhm,
almost
mhm,
even,
mhm.
yeah, that's so funny. Okay, so I don't know if you ever watched Northern Exposure. It's a pretty old show, but I'm an old lady. So Dr. Joel
Yes.
Fleischman goes to Sicily, Alaska, has so much trouble, can't stand it. And then he almost has an enlightenment. He goes and he lives in a northern village and becomes he lives like an indigenous man, and he becomes a better human being. And that's when he can go home. So there's something like that with you, is what I'm saying. Not that you need to become a better human being. Do not mean that.
That's so funny, Bobbi, because I didn't want to say it. The image I got was the show called Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, I
You know
do.
Schitt's Creek, right? And how it's the same, like the vision I got was of the place, the small town was the store, or like there's the store and the restaurant, I think, in that Schitt's Creek, right? And so I got that image and it felt very like it's a very similar story, isn't it? Where they have to go and sort of find their best versions of them, rise up in order to.
And the store is a perfect example of that, because David comes as such a vacuous, just human being. And then meets Patrick, and you see this love and this beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I'm a big fan of Schitt's Creek. That's Rosebud you're speaking of.
Morphs.
And actual sister. Sorry, go ahead.
Beautiful.
Okay, the next question.
Similar.
I just keep
The next question is from Connie. Girls, stay on track. The next question is from Connie, and she says, should I stay in this current location where I'm living, or is there another area that I need to be?
I don't know. Do you want me to go ahead?
You go ahead.
I feel like they're saying there's comfort cables where you are. Like there's a cabling effect. Like there's something that's keeping you kind of grounded there in a way, kind of getting reoriented a little bit. Although I don't feel like that's a permanent pasture that you're going to dwell in. Like I do feel like there's a bigger leap. But I feel like for right now, they just keep saying there's a comfort cable. So it feels to me like, it feels like it's down. It feels like it's going to happen, but it doesn't feel like a right now thing to me at all. So I don't know what you feel,
I actually even think that I hear you will, but eventually, but they also make it seem as though Connie is looking for something more. Like she can tell something bigger is coming. Mm-hmm. And she's putting it in human forms. But I completely agree. They tell me that if she were to leave now, it would be like going through it all again. That's how they're putting it. It would be a cutting, and you're not ready to be cut. You have to slowly undo and wait, because I actually think it's an opportunity or something's going to be presented to you. And I think you just know it's coming in some sort of way. Yeah, but it's a home basey sort of thing. Like keep the base at the moment. All about that base in my head.
Mhm.
And we have a
Yeah,
message
there's something
from,
about the environment. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Sue.
I'm sorry to interrupt there. There's something about that environs, that geographical environs, that is there's like a conduit there that isn't necessarily. It's just not time to. I think Bobbi said it to cut that cord. Like it's there's something about a fortification that needs to happen here before you take any more leaps into any other geographies.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's like when something ends, we always think we gotta go and yeah. Sometimes we have to resonate with the ending of something. Yeah, because it feels like something's ended. Yeah, yeah. I like not knowing who's asking the questions. That is awesome. Thank you, Maggie. Yeah, because
Okay, the next question is from Kristen, and she's saying, hoping you could tell me if my girl is around me. Was she in pain? Could I have done more?
no. I get time is time, and no to the pain. No, you couldn't have done more. No, there was nothing you could do. You did what you could do. You did the thing that you were supposed to do. You did all that you can do. That rest easy. My thinking is that this person might be on the other side, so there is still more you can do, because they're pulling energy out of here, and within that, I actually, because this is where the healing would come out, you might be able to send healing to the soul, if that is what's going. There's something about her soul needs light, needs comfort, needs love. Yeah, if you were Indigenous, I would say burn a meal, burn some clothes. If you're Catholic, I'd say light a candle. So yeah, sorry. And Sue?
There feels like there's a great deal of sacredness that needs to be put into this process, this healing process. And the sacredness, it feels, Bobbi, you mentioned Indigenous, and I could really feel the almost like a ceremoniousness, like the ceremonialness to that. I just want to. I feel like I want to say that some time with the fire, like it's the fire and the burning and the breathing and the allowing, will be so restorative and transformative for you, but also for the entire souls that are involved in this. Like it feels like it ripples out to me.
Okie dokie. Yeah, that to me that even reinforces that her daughter might be on the other side. I see that ceremony, and when someone goes to the other side, we're like, oh, what can I do? I can't do it. I feel so helpless. I feel so alone. I feel so like I have no arms. But there is so much we can do from this side to the other side to make their journey even better. Acknowledging, please. That is a very large one. When you see a dime, even if you think you dropped that dang dime, say thank you to them, because then they will go, oh, you're going to notice dimes. All right, we're going to drop dimes then. That'll work. Yeah. You teach them how to treat you. So yeah, that's how I meant to say it, but that's the way it came out. So I'm not going to fix it. Thank you.
The next question is from Shyla. I hope I've said your name right. What's the next step in healing? Any messages for me? I'm on my journey of healing and awakening.
Here.
Go ahead, Bobbi.
I am seeing your power chakra and your heart chakra. It might be that I think you might need to forgive yourself, because I see your forgiveness. And sometimes we have to forgive ourselves for allowing other people to infringe upon our rights and our freedoms and who we are and blah, 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 those sorts of things. You have to forgive yourself for letting yourself be in that position. But this is, you might need to do some, I don't usually use terms like shadow work, but something of that effect, something where you have to dig deep down inside of yourself and pull some Yeah, there might even be some childhood stuff because I'm seeing my own childhood stuff that I haven't worked through. And you're pulling it out to start the healing process. And even me saying I haven't worked through certain things, I know and can feel that within my body. I know. So as a healer myself, and when we start healing for other people, it's kind of like if you have a little bit of a quote unquote weakness, that healing energy is going to go into there, trying to let you know that you need to be healed as well. So heal you so that that's not a distraction you have to face. Sue?
So the us wants to speak, but I'm going to ask Heidi, can you, I'm going to go in and they want you to ask the question of them. I think it's part of the engagement. There's an energy thing here I think that they want to do.
No problem.
Okay. We are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. On breath and smile and nod, we are on board. And so we are eager to speak to you about this matter if you wish to speak with us about it now.
Thank you. Shyla, and I hope I say the name right, would like to know what's my next step in healing. Any messages for me? I'm on my journey of healing and awakening.
There is a time in your time, space, time that you all come upon when you feel the shadows of doubt creep in. And it becomes unnerving and unending, as if your internal compass has shut down. We want you, old friend, to begin each day in a place of appreciation for all of the miles and all of the milestones that you have met so far. You see, you do not need to ever measure yourself up against another. Oh no. You are the only one in your corridor of light. Do not look into the others' corridors to see where they are at. It matters not. You are the one that you have been waiting for. Do not allow any of the others to take hold of your inner compass. For if you do, and when you do, and if you do, and when you do, there is a component of confusion that starts to show itself. And so we wanted to just speak to you for a moment or two to help you to move in to a vibrational space and state that was much more favorable and is much more favorable for you. As you sit in this moment right now, right now, right now, right now, with breath and life, we wish for you, if it be your will, to speak out these words. I am. I am. I am. Get excited. I am. I am glory. I am magnificent. I am. I am. And if you will meet and greet each day for the next, we will say 36 to 38 to 42 days, you will realign and restore the use of yous into expressions of reality that you have not yet known. It is a dynamic arrangement that each of yous are in this live stream you call life. You are not bystanders, friends. You are active participants. You are co-creators. You have the force of breath within you. You can create worlds. Each of you, all of you. No one, not one of you, it is our promise, not one of you ever set out to get left behind. And so that each of you are here amidst and amongst all of the different choices that you have. that you have shown up at this buffet. That is a beautiful thing, because now you will receive the nourishment of all. Indeed.
When you say indeed, my instinct is to say indeed. Can I say amen?
Do it.
And I just did actually. I feel it so much when you do that. I am mesmerized, like I'm pulled in, and I can, yeah. Why is it that every time we look at enlightened ones, everybody's in dresses? That's what I was thinking. I just keep wearing dresses. Everybody's wearing a full-length gown. I mean, like it's, free to move and things like that. But that's what
Right.
Is that my preconceived notion that when I think of someone enlightened, I see them in a toga or a dress, and therefore that's why? Or are they actually in dresses? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Which came first? Chicken or egg?
Or the vision. Yeah.
You projected.
Alive. Yes, Shayla says thanks so much. So yes. All right, Heidi.
Okay, and we have a question from Nadine, and her question is, how long do I have to stay in my current employment before a new opportunity presents to me?
Oh, I don't think you're going to like the answer I got right away, Nadine. It was as long as it takes. That's what I heard. As long as it takes. And I actually think, Nadine, that might be inside of you. For as long as it takes you to be ready to leave. Sue?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like they're showing me that the strings of the guitar, and as you pluck each string, there's a different vibration. And so they're literally showing me that you need to pluck a different string. There's a vibrational, it's this, an incongruence, a disharmony, that there just needs to be, I can feel vibrationally the situation that there's a bit of a misalignment that needs to come into alignment before the expansion can occur. It's like going like this and trying to move, and it can't. I don't know if that helps or even.
It makes sense to me,
really
actually. And they started trying to give me little visuals to match up with that so that I could help bolster what you're saying. Yeah, it's so strange. It's like someone being part of a dance troupe who thinks they can go solo right now, but they haven't been the dance troupe long enough to actually do the solo. That's what it looks like to me. But I don't know if Nina's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur and moving off into her own thing. Right now she works with other people, but that would be almost too plain. But who knows? Sometimes they're ridiculously plain. But yeah, it starts with you, Nadine. It has something to do with your ability and ready to leave. And I kind of think where you are, you kind of need it at the moment. You might be the one different voice, which might have to do with the vibration. Just vibrating yourself out of it. And that's why she should be in there. So that it needs to slowly, And you might be even taking people with you in some way, shape, or form.
It just,
It is confusing, though.
The guides keep saying there's a little bit of your foot is caught a little bit in what they call the lack gap. And what that is the lack gap is the space in between. So the guides say, okay, look, every one of you has dreams, and we get on our dream beam, right? So we have our idea of what we want, our vision, our dreams. We want this, we want that. That's your dream beam. And they change, right? We jump on different dream beams. But when we're in the space in between, the guides call that the lack gap. And the lack gap is the space where we haven't quite vibrationally gotten ourselves in alignment with that new dream beam. So we're still bringing forth those old paradigms and those old programs and those old belief systems. Limited beliefs often are part of it. And until we move through that, we're not fully aligned with this new dream beam. That's what it feels
okie dokie. Yeah. And I even took that as literal, that I'm afraid to let this go because I don't have this yet. And what if I'd have nothing? What if I never get nothing again? We start going. So yeah, that's exactly what I saw. And actually, yeah. Anyway, and I know the lack gap very well.
I think we've all been there.
I think it's because those of us who were actually raised by boomers, who were raised by people who went through the Depression, we know about the fear of lack.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame my parents, but I can blame my grandparents. Actually, I'll blame Hitler.
Gotta blame somebody.
Anyway, he didn't cause the Great Depression. Anyway. Okay.
Next question is from Amanda, and she's asking, what's in store for me this year?
That's a very broad question, Amanda. Do you want to go first? Do you want to talk to them first, or you?
So it's a pretty broad question. Can we have a little specificity on that? I mean, I'm happy to go and see what the guides say, but let's see what the guides say. Let's just see. The one thing we've learned is that, and Bobbi, maybe you've experienced this. I don't know, because it's different for all of us. But the greater the specificity, and it doesn't have to be very detailed, that we get with the questions, it's often the greater specificity that the guides are able to respond with. Have you had that experience as well?
The broader the answer.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And I guess that's part of that vibrational match, isn't it? That's part of sort of meeting what the guides talk about the engagement. So let's just see what they have to say. Heidi, can we do the same thing? And we'll have let me go in, and then you can ask us the question, okay? Thank you. We are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. Friends of us, are you there? Are we all here together, all of us? Is it use and use and use? And when we put each other together in this collective, is it fair to say that we are all us? We all become us, friends, when we join together. It is not just you and you and you and you and you. It is us, all of us. We are in this soup together, and we will continue to say it over and over and over and over, because you are there, all of you. And it is important, because when you come together like this, when you set your station on the same dial, well, the music that is played is quite beautiful. And so we are eager to harmonize and to speak to you about whatever matters are on your matter meter.
We have a question from Amanda, and Amanda's question is, what is in store for me this year?
Goodness, glory, and greatness. What say you? What is in store? Well, you have many miles left in your shoes. And we see that you have walked many of those miles, with footwear that did not quite fit. You felt as though, we have said this time and moon to other friends, but you have walked with broken glass for some of those miles. And we want you to know that the miles that lay out ahead for you, they are not always miles that will come with the greatest of grace, but it is our promise to you, old friend, that you will find each and every mile, and you will walk it, and you will find your way to days that are so much more technicolor. You see, there has been a film, a lens that was placed over you, over your eyes, and over your awareness. And it has caught you in some pools of what we will say pools of dissension. And these kinds of experiences, they are very contractive in nature. And so we want you to know that the miles that are out ahead of you, you will find your way into a greater and grander kind of expansiveness. What does that mean? It means you are going to move into the direction of you rather than moving into the directions of others that are not in the direction of you. Indeed.
Awesome. Okie dokie. I actually hear a word very strongly, and I've been trying to push it away because I'm putting a negative idea on it, which I don't want to do. It's upheaval. I see an upheaval this year, and I kind of see it actually coming in around the 8th month of the year, which when it goes to timelines and they show me a timeline, I say, oh, shush, you don't know anything about time. But it could just be what would feel like 8 months from now, or a bit of a journey into, but it looks really Augusty. And they want you to keep your head about you and your eyes wide open so you can see everything in front of you, so that when it's not a nasty thing, it's not a bad thing, it's a positive thing, but it might feel like a tilling of soil, a breaking up of things, and you got to till soil and change the soil and break it up so you can get better plants. So yeah, which is almost what Sue, what the United Souls were saying, but they said it way more eloquently. Well, yeah. Yeah. Okay. You be you. Be yourself. Be who you are. Yeah. They actually even show you opening up your shirt and showing us all you, which is your heart, opening your chest up, opening yourself up to things, because you're a lady. I don't know if you noticed, but on lives, I do this a lot because it's a subconscious way of covering up my breasts and covering up my heart chakra and me. And I only know I do it because I watch my videos. So there's something like that going on with you. They want you to do this, open it up, let everyone see the good, but they don't mean it by like that. They mean good. They mean you, inside of you. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, and I'm seeing you look into a crystal ball. So to me, people who are looking into crystal balls are looking at something that they're seeing more than what they are seeing directly in front of them. They are seeing something within here by looking at something outside of themselves. So I hope that helps. Okie dokie.
Hey, the next question is from Jen, and Jen says, have I chosen the right career choice? And should I move closer to my workplace?
I immediately hear there is no right or wrong choice. There just is the thing that is congruent with you at that time. And yeah, there's something about working from home. There's something about staying in your own space when you are working and feeling as though your time is somewhat your own. The time you lose getting to work and coming home from work, I actually think it might be an anxious time for you, like it's lost time or something like that. Okie dokie. There's something you need to know. You need to know. You need to know. You need to know your options. You need to know everything in front of you. They're actually showing me my daughter's job. Some people work at the space, but most people actually work from their homes. So there might be some sort of option for you, something different. And it might actually be changing employments. But I actually think you need to work from home. Yeah. Sue?
100%. I keep hearing over and over and over again, home is where the heart is. Home is where the hearth is. Home is where the heart is. That's the place. That's the space. You would be best suited in that space for your own expansion. Absolutely. I
and she might even want to go contract or something where she's actually helping people directly. Yeah, there's something like that.
Yeah.
They even
I feel like you're exceptionally adept at linking people or linking systems. Like you have this great ability to like weave things together. And I don't really feel like it matters a geographical location. That doesn't matter because it's like you're what's the word? Like I can't think of the word, but the one that kind of connects this person with this person and does that sort of, I can't think of the word, but that's what I feel like you're.
Sorry, orchestrator. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Thank you, Bobbi. Thank you, orchestrator. Orchestrator. Thank you.
I honestly think you had trouble with it because they spoke about being the orchestrator earlier. And guide showed me
Okay.
that wasn't coming to you because it had already happened, but you didn't know it had already happened. Yeah, that was wackadoo, actually.
Wow, that's wild.
That
That's
was
wild.
yeah, absolutely. That was all right. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Heidi.
Hey, no problem. So the guides are actually just letting me know that Sue would need a break. So I'm just wondering if this session can end for tonight and we can then come back another time and do another live.
I was thinking that. I've been looking at the clock thinking, I wonder how long these guys do this. Because Aaron and I usually try to cap out before or at 2 hours. Because yeah, it does. And everyone watching is like, no, we don't get better as we get more tired. We get worse.
That's right.
But may I quickly? There's 2 mediumship questions here that are just loud.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
One
please.
is from TJ Jenkins, and I'll actually, I mean, just wholeheartedly say yes. And you know this to be true because she did things that made it obvious to you. She did something about a textbook or something in a textbook. Acknowledge that and just know, because the DNA you guys share. Oh, and I'm supposed to warn you that she's coming to get you when you pass. Because DNA means so much on the other side. And the person who shares the most DNA with you comes and gets you. People are always very disappointed that siblings are coming to get them. They always want their spouse. But sorry, it's your siblings. That's because that's the longest relationship of your life. Now, the other one was from Alicia, and she asked about my mediumship and whether or not it's ever scared me. And I can wholeheartedly say yes, Alicia. Because I was born like this. And my childhood was somewhat terrifying. Because I couldn't trust my own brain. Time would change. People would yell and scream at me. They would float at me. And I tried to cut it down and control it through alcohol. When I started when I was 12, drinking alcohol. I have now known that it actually makes the mean ones so much more powerful. It makes it so much worse to drink alcohol. If you are a medium, do not do it, please. Do not do it. Do not do it. Because it just actually creates a main superhighway for negative energies to get in at you. Meditation. Introducing yoga and meditation into my life made my life what it is today. Made me the person I am, made me the psychic that I am. So I absolutely and totally would say to anyone who feels they're a medium, move into it. Find someone who's dead you trust. I used my father and my grandmother, had them stand behind me to make sure that I would be safe. Ask the angels. I asked Buddha, Christ, my mom, my grandmother, and my father to stand behind me. And so just whoever makes you feel warm and cozy inside, ask them to stand behind, even if it's your animal, because I'm seeing an animal. So even if it's your dog, ask them to stand behind you, and then close your eyes and go into the light and say, all I want to see is the light. I just want to be in the light, and then meditate your little brain off. And it will start to work and come to you. And then it won't be as scary, but it can be scary to be a medium. Because dead people are dead people. And they don't mean to be scary. Some of them don't. I had an uncle and aunt both pass at the same time. And they were like, and I'm like, ooh, you guys. I had to get them chairs. And then they sat down. And then I could actually talk to them. So I just wanted to answer those 2 questions. Okay. Now, Sue. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much.
This is
so vulnerable for everyone, for being who you are for everyone, for allowing us to see what you can truly do. It was absolutely amazing to be a part of. It was so cool. So cool.
Thank you. I'm just over the moon to be have this opportunity to do this with you and to just bring the United Souls to anybody and everybody who wants to interact and listen to them. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you, Heidi.
You're welcome. And I'll just let everybody know that the Love Elemental website is www.loveelemental.com. And there's also a QR code on the screen that you can leave at our Facebook page. And we love you. We love everybody. Thank you very much.
I'm going to just shamelessly promote us here for a second,
Go,
if I
girl.
may. So we have been building up our Facebook page followers, and we are at, I think, 86 or something like that. We need 100 followers so that we can do our own lives. So if anybody just wants to go over and follow us, we would be infinitely appreciative of
Yes,
that.
I
Thank
will
you.
even ask the Universal Connections or the Bobbi Rowntree Spiritual Medium folks, if you're on Facebook right now, if you don't mind, all we need is 20 of you.
All we need is 20. Thank you.
111. Because that,
Yeah. Oh, I like
that would
that.
rock. So we should.
That
Yes,
would
and
totally
anyone
rock.
who we did not get to, apologies. But we'll get to,
Yes.
well, maybe we'll get to next time, or you can make an appointment with one of
Yeah.
us and we'll be back. This is just the first one.
I think so. I think there's lots.
And
yet
rest
to
assured,
come.
everyone, Sue has met Aaron and Aaron has met Sue. I'm not having an affair.
Yeah. We're not doing this behind
Holy,
anybody's
I
back.
felt like I was making a coffee date with a guy I found attractive and I couldn't tell my husband. And if my husband's watching, you know that won't happen. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for everyone who came. Thank you so
everyone.
very much for our maiden voyage of Born Medium and United Souls collaboration. I really like that. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.